finally to talk about our lives.
Yeah.
I just lay down and you can dig me in.
You bonded. It's because I wasn't there that day.
Yes, because you're so loud and you always scream it.
Of course, I produce a lot of noise.
Yes.
Hello and welcome to Kieser Design. Olga, the videographer, shot some really nice footage of the manufacturing process of the buckles of our watches. And I think that's a good opportunity to talk more about what Carolin does here at Kieser Design. She's the goldsmith, and we will dive into her profession a little more today. Today's episode is going to be all about Carolin, and probably a lot of people already know what you're doing, and they also have an idea of what my role is here, but I think it's worth introducing your job a little more in depth today. You took Olga, the videographer, with you in the workshop and let her look over your shoulder when you do work your magic on the parts, right?
Yes, that's right. Olga was with me when I finished up some buckles. So we spent a whole day alone in the workshop.
Okay,
yes.
Sounds like fun. So let's dive right into the footage and see what you did there. Are you eating there?
Yeah, I sometimes I give myself a little treat before I start working.
Even before starting.
Yeah, even before. It's more necessary to eat before you work, because then you are in the right mood.
Yeah. Some sugar. Working in a sugar rush is always good.
Always good. Yeah.
I gave you parts that I've already milled on the machine, titanium grade 5 buckles. We mill them from a flat sheet. I have one of those sheets here. That's where I cut out the shapes on the milling machine, and I do the little pockets and all the roughing out. And then afterwards I hand all the parts over to Carolin to finish them. And there's quite a lot of work to do there. Yeah. The parts are always like really rough. The surface is not quite there yet, I would say. Yeah.
And
I mean, it's pretty good from a milling perspective, I would say. So please don't. Don't insult me.
But for something you would wear on your wrist, it has to be smoothed out.
From a jewelry perspective, you got to deburr it and everything. Yeah, that's true. Here you can see the lesser spotted goldsmith in her natural habitat. I think it's a good opportunity here to talk about your profession in general and how you got there. Because most of the time just me at the milling machine, and then you do the finishing, and we don't really talk about the details, right? And about our lives, right?
Yeah, that's a great opportunity today to finally talk about our lives.
Yeah, no, but I guess you are a trained professional goldsmith, and that's probably not what goldsmiths usually do when they're finished their apprenticeship work for a watch company and do the work that we do here, right?
What I do here right now is not super far away from working as a goldsmith, but I mean, the material itself is titanium and it's not gold, so it's quite different.
I mean, we do manufacture golden parts,
and I'm always really happy to have some gold in my hands, since it's just my favorite material to work with.
And it's probably a bit easier on the tools, and it's
it's a lot easier on the tools. It's easier to finish it and to give it a surface that we want, and it's a lot easier gold. But
maybe that's why it's so expensive,
because it's so easy to work on.
Yeah, you just pay for the ease of use.
No, I don't think that's the case. But I'm here like over 2 years now, so Titanium and we
you bonded.
We bonded really.
Oh, and I have to say, really, you do an amazing job, and
thank you.
Think it's a real pleasure having you here working with us, because just having a trained goldsmith here who knows so much about surface finishing is a really valuable addition to the workshop, and you do stuff that I could never do. It's just it sheds a light on the industry as a whole, because there are so many different and complex tasks that it's nearly impossible for one person alone to do everything, and you have a lot of specialists, and I mean, we already do a whole bunch of things here. Starting from the raw material and then milling it and finishing it and putting everything together. But you need a certain degree of division of labor, I'd say.
Yeah, I think it's a lot of training to come to a certain level. And I think if you're not at that certain level and you don't know what's possible, you can't even see what could be done better. Yeah,
that is true. And it's just also a system of checks and balances, right? Because we always check each other's work.
And that's a good thing, that at some point you just hand your parts over, because sometimes you get really stuck on different areas, and sometimes you get
a little blind.
You get a little blind, and you get a little too focused on that one scratch or something that's not even
not even there anymore. Sometimes it's just burned into your into retina, and then
that's right. Sometimes you just go crazy about nothing, and it's always good to have someone else there to check on the part.
But is back problems something common with goldsmiths?
Yeah, really common. Back, hands and eyes are the most common problems you could have.
I really love the footage because there is such a calm and soothing atmosphere there.
Yeah.
But
that's super untypical.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to say.
Yeah, that's super atypical for a day in this workshop.
It's because I wasn't there that day.
Yes, because you're so loud and you always scream at me. No, I'm kidding.
No, I am loud because you have to know, behind the camera there is the milling machine. That's usually my workplace, and here is Carolin's jewelry makers or goldsmith table. Yes. And of course I produce a lot of noise because I work with machines most of the time, and milling, turning, whatever. And Carolin, her signature sound.
Yes, that's right. Yeah.
She's not that noisy. Maybe you can tell a little more about what a typical day looks like for you. Is there a typical day?
No, there is actually no routine in what we do, because there are so many different parts we manufacture here. Some days there's the CNC mill on and you producing parts, and I'm at my table and produce some other parts. Some days I'm alone here and just do some
because I'm stuck in the office, or I'm doing some design work, or I'm out on fairs, or just
sometimes I'm alone, and that's okay as well. I mean, sometimes I have to work on parts where I need to concentrate really hard, and it's better to do that if the big machine isn't running. But there are days I'm working on the sandblasting machine, for example. That's really loud and noisy, and sandy, and sometimes I'm anodizing parts, and that's always like a little highlight of
that's where the magic happens.
Yeah, that's where the magic happens.
Where we turn the parts in the beautiful colors.
Yeah. So no day is like the other. But
it's absolutely the same for me.
Yeah.
I mean, there is also not only the workshop side for me, but also the business side. When you make jewelry, there is only one ring.
Yeah.
You can't really tell if the chamfer was supposed to be a little bigger or smaller, and that's something that bothers you from time to time here, is that I always say, no, the chamfer has to be 0.3 millimeters and not 0.4 millimeters, even if you want to just even out something that wasn't right, and then you have to live with the part going to the scrap bin.
Too small, yes. Yeah. That's the reason why I have so much respect for the watchmakers' work, because you as a watchmaker or the other watchmakers or everyone who has something to do with watches, everybody has to work super precisely, and it's a lot more precise than a goldsmith's work has to be.
No, it's interesting.
Since we do one-offs, the biggest series I think is maybe 5 pieces or 10 pieces of the same, and that's something that's really different here.
The interesting thing is when you have a goldsmith's work, you actually even want it to look handmade sometimes, but in a watch or in finissage, everybody wants the pieces to be hand finished, but they are supposed to look like coming from a machine perfection-wise.
Yeah. You want them to be perfect,
and that is the huge field of tension around that topic. I think it's because of the pieces being so tiny that you would just see if there's a line not going in the right direction or just is tilted or so, you would spot it. You would look at it and say, okay, well, that's crap. But from a goldsmith's perspective, what's your favorite part of our watches? Maybe the part itself or finishing, or?
I really like working on the dials. I mean, I like the dial rings, I like the dial itself. So you have so many opportunities with those dials.
Yeah. You got very creative with the grinding of the dials and
I think the dial is obviously the face of the watch. Yeah. It's the part that is most seen of the watch. And I really like the giving those parts a color and like putting all that work into one part, like all those tiny steps that sum up to like the face of the watch and the character of the watch. That's super nice. And I mean, even though those indexes are super tiny and we do them by hand and it's a long process until they can be put on the dial, I think those parts are the parts that make the most fun. I mean, of course, I like to do cases, I like to do the exoskeleton. I
think it's most rewarding and most satisfying to see the parts finished that are most difficult to make.
Yeah, like the hands, for example. A few days ago, I had some second hands, which I anodized. It's always such a surprise to me how different those parts look when they get their final color and their final purpose, and just laying that second hand on the prepared dial is just you can imagine how the watch will look and all that stuff.
That's very uplifting. And what I really envy when I look at your work is that you're so in touch with the parts, and you as a goldsmith, that's something that I realized after I hired you, was that you always touch the parts and hold on to the parts with your bare fingers.
Yeah.
And that's from my perspective as a coming more from a tool making background and from machining, is like, how can I hold on to that? Like, what kind of fixture can I make, and do I use a clamp or a vise or whatever? You're so in touch with the parts, and that is something just awesome, because you don't actually need a lot of tools. You need well, a variety of files with different grids and all that, but there is no complex machinery involved in what you do, and yet you add so much to the appearance of the watch.
There are goldsmiths who use like tools to hold parts, but I'm just not that kind of goldsmith. I don't know, I just, as you said, I'm a tactile person. I really need to feel that, and I can feel by the pressure of how much pressure I put on the file and how much pressure comes to my other hand. I can feel if the file goes right or not. It has a lot to do with the feeling in your hands, and sometimes you can even hear if something's not right.
Yeah, that is absolutely true. And there you can see the finished parts. It's just, it draws a line underneath everything you've done and just completes the thing. And yeah, when you put it on the strap, you can see the perfection of the whole part. Yeah, and that's all I've been working for. I mean, that day, it took me only like a few hours to get things done. But it's always nice to see the finished part on its supposed to be place. So everything comes together, and yeah, that's just super nice. And probably that's, I don't know if it's the same for you, but for me, it's why I love this job so much, because you see the end result that you've been working for, you can hold it in your hands. Super satisfying at the end of the day. To go home and to know, okay, well, I did this, I did this, I did this, and you can see it on your laying on your table, and coming in the next day and seeing, okay, well, that was what I did yesterday, and now I'm going on working on that, and it's something you can touch and you really have a connection to. Yeah. So, what do you think? Would you do it all over again? The apprenticeship and then join Kieser Design? Yes. Yes? Yes, I would. There is probably nothing to add here, right? No. So, thank you for watching. It was great fun. Two craftsmen just chatting about their profession and their passion. Do you want to say something else? Follow us on Instagram. Yes. Since I got my hands to the account, you will get a lot of insights. So you get more chances to see what we actually do here. So. Yes. So I hope to see you in the next one. Thank you for watching. Bye. A reason why I like being a craftsman or a craftswoman, I don't know if there's a female version of it, but it's if I do something with metal, I can be sure that it's not like it can't get broken super fast. I'm a bit clumsy, so sometimes. So pottery won't be something. No, pottery won't be something for me, or glass or a neurosurgeon. No. You can absolutely forget about that, because sometimes I'm just super clumsy, and I think that's something I really liked from day one. Even if there were some little bumps on the way to the finished project, in the end you can't tell. In the end everything looks nice.